Hello! So today is June 26th, and this will probably be my final recording before my hysterectomy. So this past Thursday we went up to the Mayo Clinic and got lots of tests done. I had to drink about 24 ounces of contrast water or something. Anyway, that went real well. And then I got in this big machine with the big donut thing around it. Anyway, it was very colorful, very pretty purples and blues and pinks, and the lights just kind of kept changing. And so they also put an IV in my arm and put some contrast fluid in there. And the girl told me, she said, most people feel like they have to pee when they do this part, but nobody has ever peed, so don't worry about it. So she came over the little speaker and said, okay, here it comes. Here comes the contrast through your system. And sure enough, felt like I had to pee, but I didn't. So I guess that's a proud moment for all of us. Anyway, the scan was done. I had to keep my arms up over my head the whole time. And while it was happening, I felt this kind of thing going on in my head, like boom, 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 boom. And then I realized it was me because I was shaking so much. My hands were like, ah! Anyway, so it was very cold. I felt cold the whole time. I hope that was the contrasting fluid that made me feel that way. But anyway, it was done pretty quick. And I got to tell you, all of the nurses and all of the people that I dealt with throughout the day were just so nice. Everybody was very kind and compassionate and super, super nice. So it was a pleasure. If I had to be somewhere, that was not a bad place to be. So then the next day we had our appointment at Mayo with the doctor, who is Dr. Matthew Robertson. And I have a lot of birds flying around out here because it just finished raining, so they're very happy to be eating and singing. So anyway, Dr. Robertson was so very nice and such a smart guy. So he went over the results of the scans and said he sees what the problem is, and so he said, I definitely have Leiomyosarcoma, LMS. And so what he sort of had a little bit of a plan with what he was going to do, and he was thinking he could do this laparoscopically. And so from there he did my exam. Yeah, right. And so he's up there looking, and he pretty much just snaps back. And meanwhile, before he actually did the exam, the nurse had come in while he was out of the room. The nurse came in and told me, because I had already expressed the fact, I got my bags packed, I'm ready, anytime you are. And so she said, well, they usually have to schedule these out so far, like maybe 3, 4, 5 weeks out, because their ORs are so booked and they're all so busy since sort of the post-pandemic thing. People are back to their health and getting their health worked on and whatnot. So anyway, she said it could be up to 4 or 5 weeks. And so he got done with his exam and helped me up, and James was in there the whole time, so he got to see me cringe. And so he helped me up, and then he said to his assistant, follow me. So they both left the room. And when he came back, he said, I can do this Tuesday, or I can do this the following Tuesday. So anyway, we picked this Tuesday. So we're ready to have this out. The doctor said the obvious, that that there's the cancer in my uterus, but that there's also some deep deposits at my small bowel, just 2 of them. So while he is in there, he's going to take a look, but he also said he's going to do a an open hysterectomy. There's no way he could do this laparoscopically, or else I would just bleed a lot, and we don't want that. So he's going to do this open hysterectomy, and he'll make an incision from my above my belly button, and he'll go around my belly button and go down all the way there. And then he'll open it up and check out what that is around my small bowel. And if it's the cancer, it is the cancer. What he doesn't know is if it's in my bowel or on my bowel or around, leaning on it or what. So anyway, he's gonna investigate that and take care of that, and he will then do the resection of that. He said I had 2 spots on my lungs, but it looks like just an infection, so we're going to keep a really close eye on that. And so now, coming up on this Monday, I have tests like crazy. I have tests from like 11 in the morning till about 3 in the afternoon. I'm going from one building to another and back to another and all over the place, and then I finally get to my pre-op appointment, and then the surgery will be Tuesday, but we don't know what time yet. Apparently they don't schedule that kind of thing until, or they don't let you know what time your surgery is until like 6 o'clock the night before. So anyway, my darling husband has been a champ through all of this, and he is looking for a campground in Jacksonville to stay at, because the hotel we stayed at this last week was sufficient, sort of. In the hallway the whole night there was yelling and screaming, and the guy's TV right next door, you could tell it wasn't turned up loud, but we could hear everything on that TV. So we're gonna do the camper, since he's gonna be there for probably about a week, or at least 4 or 5 days. So he found a campground after a lot of looking last night. Finally today he found a great little place called Hannah Park, I think it is. It's about a half hour away from, about 20 minutes to a half hour away, depending on traffic. It's like 11 miles away, but it takes a long time to go 11 miles in Jacksonville. So he's going to do that, and we feel really good. I feel very good about it. Now they do have a sofa that lays out flat in the room, so he could stay in there with me. But I just can't imagine having to stay in there all the time. Well, I will be there all the time. He doesn't have to be, so I don't think he should be. That'll give him time away, time to himself, and time to gather his thoughts. And he does scheduling for the village's tennis group, so he's going to still be doing that, and that'll help keep him distracted. So I think that's about all the news. And I'll post something much later after the hysterectomy. But I do think, as I've gone through this process, I think it's important to note, if you have any family grudges, you got to really examine them. I mean, why do you have them? And are the grudges that you have more important than the love that you have for your family or for people? Because there's really there's no way to balance that. Just get rid of the grudges, There's nothing more important than your family here on earth. And don't forget to love on them. Just love on them. Regardless of their political bends or their irritability factor or anything like that, just love on them, because they're your family. And the holding grudges is just no good. You don't need it, they don't need it, and surely God is bigger than all of that. So just thought I'd say that. If your grudge or anger outweighs your love for somebody, you should really examine that. I've been doing a lot of examining this week, and I didn't want to cry because I get so ugly when I cry. But give it some thought. Pray about it. If you don't pray, just think about it. And know that it's the love that matters. It's how much you care for your family, how much you love your family. The grudges don't matter. The hate doesn't matter. Just get rid of that. Life is too short. All right, well, I got to go before I get uglier in this cry. All right, talk to you once I'm at least 2 or 3 pounds lighter, but I suspect it's going to be a lot more than that. My husband said he looked it up in the uterus. Weighs a couple pounds, but since they're going to be taking out a lot more than that, they're going to do a radical hysterectomy. The only thing that may remain, and we don't even know yet, are my lymph nodes, because this cancer doesn't travel through lymph nodes, so we're thinking they maybe won't be affected, so maybe I'll get to keep those. But hey, what's another couple ounces to lose? So anyway, all right. Talk to you on the other side. Bye.